Good morning. Just on the outskirts of my hometown, Southwold, and gone past the railway works where they do the railway museum, to do the old narrow gauge railway that used to be here, which was closed in 1922. We're actually going down the old railway track here. On my way to work, my commute. Thought I'd just do a video about my daily, I say I do a daily commute. It's between 2 and 4 days a week I do this. And I have on my Duotts C29, and it doesn't hang about. I still got one of my Harford Vengeances Carreras in the shed. I normally use it when I go out with the missus, because she's got a Carrera as well, and they're sort of matched with speed and difficulty. Otherwise, if I go in this, I'm hardly trying at all. This is my commute bike, or my sort of long range bike really, my everyday bike. It's been pretty reliable. It's now done 1,600 miles. Didn't do a lot with it in the winter because I had various problems with nerve damage in one of my legs. Old age, I'm afraid. And so the weather's improving. I'm getting out on it more. I'm feeling a bit fitter now. Winter's not very good for me. Right, we're now coming up to the River Blythe estuary. The old swing bridge used to be here for the railway. They've now got a Bailey bridge here, which is and that's up towards Blytheborough, and that's very expensive moorings there. I mean, in the holiday season, there's hundreds of people walk through here. The advantage of using this as a commuter route, I come through here now just about 10 to 7. There's nobody about. You might see the odd runner, but that's it. With the old dog walker. It's a lovely day today. I've got a back wind because the wind's in the northeast, so I'm not getting me backside blown off along here, which I normally get if the wind's in the west. It does tend to be quite strong side wind through here. This old cinder track is getting a little bit up and down. I think that needs levelling off. It needs a tractor taken down here with a blade on it and level that off. Right, now I want to Palmer's Lane in Walberswick. Pretty famous little village. I've done loads of videos about this. A lot of celebrities have got houses here. I'm not going through Walberswick today. I'm going to take my shortest route today. So I'm going through here. Follow the railway track today. This is all part of the old railway track, narrow gauge. It used to run between Southwold and Halesworth, which was late 19th century through to 1922 when it was shut. And they've actually cut back the gauze on this bridleway. This is a bridleway through here, so I'm perfectly entitled to ride through here. Although most of the holiday makers will tell you that I'm not allowed to ride through here. I don't take any notice of them whatsoever. They don't live here, they don't know the law, they just think they do. But, yeah. The Blythe railway Preservation Society, they're trying to get it so that they're trying to restore this whole track. They'd like to restore it all the way through, but the landowners aren't playing ball. They just don't want them to do it. I mean, it wouldn't take a lot down this end because it's pretty much all still here. It just needs a track reinstating. But right, although it's public right of access through here, this is a farmer's field, and these gates must be kept closed because there's sheep on here that won't work walls. As you can see, I'll make sure. Now the railway track runs along there. You can see where one of the old bridges was. So I'm now running beside it. But that will curl round the back of them buildings over there, and then head off into the woodland forest along the side of the Blythe estuary mud flat. So I'm no longer on the track now. The old Duotts is a little bit on the noisy side, but that is a which is really right through here. Trouble is, there's a lot of cyclists come through here, and of course they make these grooves, and you get a lot of what they call gravel riders through here on the weekends. But it takes me about 35-40 minutes to get to work. We've done just on 2 miles now, so about 10.5 miles. So keep on the left through here because there are 1 or 2 big old holes on the right hand side of this path. You can't see them till you're in them. They're a bit right, I'll be going on tarmac in a minute, which will be nice. Yeah, here's another one of them gates. The problem with this one is it's dropped, and can't. Well, the sheep don't seem to. They push against it, but they don't seem to go through. So, yeah, that's gone. That's shut. Right. Okay. Right. We're now heading out of Wolveswick. Up in the top gear. Speed is building. 16, 17, 18, 20, 22. That's about where I cruise at 22 miles an hour. This is accurate. I've checked it against the speed indicators on the 30-mile-an-hour limits, which I do activate, and I'm pretty much spot on to them. So I'm now cruising at 23, and as you can hear, the motor's pretty much not doing anything now. I'm on setting 3. Land, babies. Get a lot of sheep around here this time of year. Oh well, here comes the tractor. The dust cart behind it, I think. And he's having a look. Oh, he's curtain side. I have a GoPro on the top of my helmet, not because I want to nick people enough, that's my safety more than anything. People see it, they tend to, are less likely to cut me up. And being as I'm now going on to the Sizewell C construction rat run, which is the road linking Blythe and Middleton out onto the Oxford to Leiston road, they're using as a rat run at the minute because there's a lot of roadworks on the A12, which they shouldn't do. They're all been signposted around and they should be using the park and rides now, but it's taken a while for them to get the message. That's why I have a GoPro on. And I do get one or two, well, we'll be diplomatic and call them idiots, who near miss me and try and cut me up, but I've got them all on film, I've got them all on my computer, and it's like 2 or 3 strikes and you're out sort of thing. But as yet, I haven't had one. I've had to say, I'm not one for grasping people up to the police, but it does help having it. But it's an interesting video anyway, because I get deers run across in front of me and I get interesting things happen on the journey. That is some water over there, that's plastic sheet, and the Blythe estuary's further over, it's behind that woodland to my right. There's Blythe Burr over there, you can see it in the distance. We just about make it out. And we're cruising along. Right, we're now we'll be joining the rat run in a minute. A lot of builders come down this road because Warbleswick is just like a building site constantly. Rich people buy the houses there and completely refurb them, and there you go. I had the chance of moving the bit of Warbleswick, but I declined it in the end because there's nothing there. All you've got is a shop, a couple of overpriced pubs, and some cafes that open in the summer, and that's it. The trouble is, as you get older, you need, I don't want to be travelling 10 miles to the doctor, although Warbleswick, centre of Warbleswick is only a mile from me. Right, here's the rat run. It's only about 2 miles from me. If I go across the river in a car, it's like 8 because you have to go right the way round. Right, we're now heading towards Westleton now and Dunwich. This is a road where it gets quite busy. I sit into the carriage, I don't sit on the edge, I sit in the middle because they'll cut the hell out of you. This road until I either turn left at Westleton Green or I take Baker's Lane in Westleton. That'll take me across to Minsmere, which is a RSPB nature reserve, wetland and woodland, quite pretty through there, and that's when I head off out cross country again. So I'm on here for a couple of miles, couple of 3 miles, and then not too bad traffic at the minute, but say that now that's definitely a Sizewell truck. I know that, I've seen it parked in Sizewell, one of the car parks, although he ain't got a number on the back. They shouldn't be coming this way. They'll end up getting this road closed. That's Sizewell, he's in orange. That's Sizewell C29, so that's definitely a Sizewell vehicle. That's Sizewell, he's in orange. Yeah. This road used to have hardly any traffic come through here. But once the park and ride is finished eventually this all should end. Yeah, you do get traffic up down here, but nothing like this. There's a couple of electric vehicles coming through here. There's a Sizewell 096. Yeah, he shouldn't be coming through here. I tell you what, this fucking bike has got some coke. Having the camera on the helmet does make a difference because they can see it, and don't get me wrong, I mean, it does annoy me sometimes, but not enough to fucking get somebody lose their job or get fucking fined or get points on their license. But what I will say is, that annoys me when I got these lycra clad numpties going around with cameras everywhere, and all they're after is to nick people. They're not interested in anything else, they just want to nick people. They get themselves in the middle of the road so people get frustrated, and then they photograph, then they video them and send in the police. I mean, what's that all about? And then they wonder why they're hated. I mean, they got me toiling along on my bike with a rucksack on my back, I mean my work clothes, and probably get hurt by the same brush as these fucking people. Or they ride 3 abreast or 2 abreast, or they don't use the fucking cycle lanes. That's the thing that gets me. I go through Lowestoft. There's lovely cycle lanes there, nice and wide. You can easily keep in the cycle lanes. What do? They go in the main traffic, hold all the fucking traffic up, and their excuse is because they're too quick. Well, I go quicker than them, and I go on the cycle lanes. As you can see, it's quite wild through here. They don't hang about. I've got my lights on and what have you, so hopefully they can see me. It's when you get bends like this and they try to overtake you, that's when you know you're... That's Potton Hall. The entrance to Potton Hall there, that's got like a yurt, sort of like a Mongolian tent thing where you can have a cup of coffee, which is quite nice. And they've got a spa there and a swimming pool and that, it's really quite nice. I remember when that first started up, and it's now getting quite big. Those yellow things on the side of the road are made by a local steel sculptor, metalwork sculpture, and he's been plonking them all the way along here, saying the size of rat. Designated this as a rat run. There's a few of them about, and a lot of the houses have got them outside them as well. And we go into Westleton, which is just up here. Right, here we go. Excellent. Now I sometimes turn left right here where there's a gap in the hedge, that'll take me down a dirt track, which will take me to a Bins bit. But that's such a crappy bit of track. The problem is the 4x4 brigade have found out about it, because that's a byway. They can go down there, and they've chewed it up through the winter, and it's made it quite difficult to get through now. They always have to spoil it for everybody else. Get a lot of motorbikes, scramblers and that come up here as well. Right, we're now into average speed cameras now, so this will slow everybody up, because this is a result of them being a rat run through here. So they fuck it up themselves. Yeah. So they're all resigned at 30 mile an hour now. Yeah, there's a load of them rats on the side there, look, saying rat run. 2 there, 1 there, look. Another load over here, look. I've only got a little bit further to go and I'm off this road. Cruising along nicely at 23. Now got 7 miles. As you can see, the time goes quite quick. Right then. Baker's Lane. Right, we're in the countryside now, up here. Pull up these hills, no problem. Again. Yeah, I've done 1,545 miles on this, and as yet, touch wood, no real issues. But I've said on other videos, front forks are fucking horrendous. I still haven't got around to changing them. I've just sort of got used to them. The brakes, I'm still on cable brakes, which everybody says are crap, but to be fair, as long as they're adjusted up right, they do work okay. I've still got them reversed, so the back brake is on the right hand, but I'm so used to it now that I've just left it now. Yeah, I removed the front derailleur because I couldn't see the point of having a derailleur and an extra lever on the fucking left-hand bar. I moved all that, and I moved the screen over a bit, so it's now right up against the brake lever on the left hand side, and I've got room to put my lights and my GoPro bracket on the handlebars. I got rid of the USB as well, I don't need that. So yeah. Pretty good. Got to be careful through here. There's a lot of roots lifting the road up. Which way shall I go? Oh, I can't be bothered to go through the rough bit. I'm going to go Go a slightly longer route, adds about half a mile to my journey. I'm going to go down to Minsmere Visitor Centre and back up again. I normally go up there, but I can't be arsed with that. It's so sandy and rutted up there now. Because when it gets too dry, it goes the other way. It gets really sandy. That's a nice bit of holiday let there, or second home. Very rarely anybody in it. Apparently, the Guinness family own a house up here somewhere. I don't think it's that one. There's a house over the back there. And during COVID, some of the Guinness family who got the beer basically hid up in there. We had a lot of that around here, especially where I live in Southwold. There's a whole lot of second homes and holiday lets there, which are second homes as well. Suddenly the Londoners were coming up here, sneaking up here at night and going into their second homes. And we had a rule in the town, most of the restaurants and pubs had it so you had to show your ID, photographic ID, and if you came from anywhere else other than Southwold, you weren't allowed in the pubs. So it backfired on a bit. They were literally stuck in their houses and couldn't go anywhere except walk around the town. I remember the couple of women were sitting on a bench with takeaway coffees from a place called Magpie's Bakery. Well, nobody local uses Magpie's Bakery. The only people who use Magpie's Bakery are holiday makers or second homers, you know, or people who've only just moved into the town. And because people after a while realise it's a rip-off, and I'm not paying all that money for a bloody fresh packed coffee. But they sat there with two takeaways and they were going on about, oh, it's terrible the way people come up here from London, blah blah blah, on these benches in St James Green. And I just said to them, I said, well, you're not from around here. And they go, well, how do you know that? I said, because you're sitting there with bloody Magpie coffee in your hand, so I know damn well you're not from around here. And with that they couldn't really answer, then they were buggered. You know, morons. But yeah, I mean, I'm not rich by any means, I'm just a normal bloke. I just work as a maintenance guy in a care home. And the reason I use my bike is to keep, especially when the fuel gets expensive, and also keep the mileage down on my car. And I just changed my car as well, as a matter of interest. I will be doing a video about that, because I think that's one of the best kept, well, it's not the best kept secret, but the trouble is you have to pre-order them now. There's none in the country. We were lucky to get ours. Ours was a forecourt one, and that's the new Mark IV Dacia Duster Hybrid. I mean, bloody hell, man, that's a good vehicle. I just bought one on brand new, the 1800 full hybrid. My God, I mean, that's as good as any bloody, that's as good as any Land Rover, Range Rover. Lovely and quiet, comfortable, and only 23 grand. And being a full hybrid, you get 700-mile range on a tank of petrol. We're averaging out at more than 100 miles for 10 quid worth of fuel, and around here anyway. What it's going to be like on motorways, I don't know. It's probably going to be worse, if anything, as they normally are, but around here it's brilliant. It's not a plug-in one. I don't know how to plug the fucking thing in. I don't know where to plug it in anyway. But yeah, I must admit, I'm going to have to do a review of it, because I'm well impressed with it. Yeah, so I'm now going through Minsmere Forest now. It's like wetlands on the left, it's all wetlands. Can't come through here in the afternoon, there's so many midges. It's basically absolutely unbelievably bad. You end up fucking breathing midges, it's awful. I have to have my mask on, it's horrible, so I don't bother. So I have to put up with the dirt track in the afternoon, but in the morning I can come through here because the midges then start to rise out of the water. It's very difficult here, and as you can see, right, this gate is the actual boundary of the actual Minsmere land, and Good thing they do is they put gullies in the middle of these speed humps for cyclists. So yeah, I'll get some nice photos through here. Actually, I'll do a bit of photography, and especially in the autumn when all these leaves are yellow through here, you get a nice shot through here if the light is right. Right, okay then. Well, just here is where I come out on the lopeway. If I go up that lane, this is where I pop out there. And, so ain't that much here. Right, we're now coming down in Eastbridge now. We're going to cross over the Minsmere River in a minute. Lovely morning, sun is up. Sea is over there. About half a mile away. Less than half a mile to the beach. And now coming up to Minsmere River. Once we get over this, we'll be in Eastbridge, small village, lovely pub in Eastbridge called the Eel's Foot. Get a lot of campers there, people camping. There you go, somebody running. Morning. Yeah, here, yeah, you don't see many of them. You must be out of there. As you can see, there's a load of camper vans there. The Eel's Foot pub just here. There's the Eel's Foot. Nice country pub. Lovely. We've got a really nice beer garden there. And little village called these cars parked here. They're all going up that footpath down to the beach, which is about half a mile away. There's a lot of dog walkers go through there. From Leiston and places like that. Right, we're now coming up towards the Sizewell site now, which I don't work at Sizewell, but I work in the middle of it. So I'll have to sign off in a minute because I don't really want everybody to know where I work. But over there, as you can see, it's all the new Sizewell C build over the back there. And massive development, same as Hinkley Point, twin reactors. B, they were going to close, they keep B open for the time being for the next few years. I think there's no one behind me. Yeah, that's all Sizewell. That's where they're doing the archaeological digs. They do everywhere they do an archaeological dig. They dig gullies and that. They found numerous bodies from medieval times and Christ knows what else, and Roman stuff. You know. And they're building these big, massive, great buns, huge, great big earthworks, which they'll plant up so people can't see the actual power station. I think it's quite a good idea. I mean, the consensus is they're wrecking the joint, but they're not. All we're getting in a minute is the pre-build build, getting all the access roads finished and things like that. Once they're all done and the roundabouts are in, they'll landscape them and then we'll be back to normal again. But that's you.